Hello and fuck Cape shit. Here's another episode of Shittywebcomics Weekly 2022 edition where these episodes are just going to be a lot shorter than usual. So, because if you want the main content, to go to our subscribe star, which is how we do these episodes. Well, whatever. Who gives a shit? Donate to our subscribe star if you want the in depth stuff. The Shitty Webcomics Weekly for this year, we're looking to tone down on because we're starting to produce more of our own stuff, ideally. Um, but jumping into that, we're continuing on from last week where we were covering Risk Hunters, the reboot of Risk Hunter K by Giga Stank. And this one just starts off with, just a straightforward jumping back in where a cute Demia with the mammoth mega maga milkers fucking is going to work with Mr. K, which, of course, if you've been following Tank for long enough, too, you know that K is actually a girl but supposed to be androgynous, and she's the higher rank warrior who
because it's
sort of
such a
knows what she's doing.
cute fetish to him.
Yeah,
Because let's face it,
just like
that's all
feet.
that ever is.
Just like
Androgyny is a fetish.
yes, it's not even real. Never happened. So there's sort of back and forth characters almost expositing to each other, which is a better way if you're going to do exposition, an exposition dump. The best way to do it is to have one character inquiring to the other. It's like, oh, how is this? And they go, well, it works like this, and they're like, oh, okay. And here also like newer detail here is the main entrance and exit to the town has these grates that water splashes up, and it's like, oh, it's for washing off people's feet and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, people can keep clean as they enter the town. It's like whatever. And so they go out, and then Demi, like, the whole character, the sort of almost one note character of Demia is she's the plucky new girl who wants to be a risk hunter. She wants to hunt monsters, and
She
she's
wants to
got her
play a
weapons.
monster hunter, or whatever the fuck it's called.
She wants to play Monster Hunter Rise, so she goes into the world, and then she learns from the androgynous professional, the androgynous sort of terse professional, who's like, you're not very good at things, and it's pretty bog standard
It's
cliche.
so cutesy
It's
that
about
it's
the
actually grating.
all of this is really about like monster design and fights in action. That's
If
really the
he wanted
core
to
of
fucking
this.
make a Monster Hunter game, but he's not allowed because he's too gay.
And also because Monster Hunter exists, so there's no point in him making a Monster Hunter game or
I mean, there's no
fucking.
point. There's no point in making a Monster Hunter game, and there's already a Monster Hunter game.
Hmm.
I've already tried playing one of those games once. There's no reason to make any
Yeah, it's
more of
it's
them.
really just follow the waypoint and then whack at enemy, and then they run away, and then you
The
follow them
exact
some more.
people who will fucking cry and scream that, "Ooh, fucking Bethesda games, you just follow the retard marker on the mini map."
Yeah, and
And
then
it's like,
that's
oh,
what
but I
fucking
love
this is.
Monster Hunter. And it's like, Monster Hunter is literally nothing but following the waypoint. It's taking out all the other interesting things from better games and just leaving it with fucking rote boss fight memorization, fucking
Well, that
PlayStation
was the
2
joke.
era JRPG
That was the
bullshit.
old V joke about like, ooh, this game sucks. This Fallout game sucks, or fucking or Oblivion, whatever, Morrowind, ooh, it sucks, and then they go and play fucking Disgaea or whatever the fuck, and they're like, oh, it's perfect. It's got animal things and anime,
Got flat chested little 12-year-old girls. This is the
but
best
she's
thing
a
I've ever
thousand
seen.
year old lolly. That kind of shit.
They're playing Morrowind. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this game sucks without mods, and so they mod it so that everything looks like generic
Naruto.
anime for faggotry
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
And
They
it's like,
make it just.
now it's just perfect.
It is perfect. Yeah, that's really what the fucking when anyone who complains about Skyrim or whatever. Um, anyways, So, there's going on then to chapter 3. It's like fight continues, and it's like, oh, you passed your exam, but wait, there could be a dangerous monster. Oh no, there is a more dangerous monster, and it's a huge monster, but it's a C rank. Whoa, that kind of shit. It's like, okay. And it's like the you can tell it's one of those anime tropes where everyone's life is going to be decided by their rank. Like, oh, the rank of this monster. No, you cannot possibly fight a B minus rank monster. You're only rank regular B, or just fucking ridiculous. And it's like, what?
Or whatever. You're only a C plus.
Yeah, you're only a C plus. You can't possibly fight a B minus minus rank.
You're only triple C plus rank.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many fucking ranks are there?
Yes, you're only C plus minus XD rank, and it's like, oh no, but it's the C plus minus XF rank. That's the one that. And then they fight it and win. It's like, oh, we didn't know you were actually CXR rank all along.
You think they're going to go with
your blood type was CXR.
As it turns out, you can't just classify somebody by their rank. No, they're like,
they do.
We actually misclassified your rank wrong.
Yes.
All along, and it turns out you're actually a higher rank, and that explains that.
And they determine it by doing a blood test and being like, oh, you have the rarest blood type that makes your eyes purple. Just
you have the midichlorians in your bloodstream.
Yeah, exactly.
Give you the most force powers.
Anyways, so there's this, and there's some good action and art and stuff here too, of course, which that's what Tank's been really working at.
I mean, it's the only thing. That's the thing is with Animu fans, it's like the only thing that really gets into their fucking thick skulls is like speed lines and blurry effects and shit.
And at least Tank has sort of been studying that from
dynamic angles and fucking like the shading going on in some of these panels to indicate motion or like a tone.
Well, here's the thing is that this actually is fucked up. Somebody drew lines here, basically looking at the way that the eyeball naturally follows when an artist is used to drawing left to right and trying to draw right to left. And it shows it. Okay, this first panel here on the right goes to the left, but then the way the eye naturally follows because of the way the panels are shaped, the composition, the layout, and the shape of the gutters as well draws the eye naturally to the left here, then down, and then to the right, and from the left to the right, and then from fucking and then the last two panels along the bottom are just a mystery because it's like naturally again you have to read the panels to find out the context, whereas the point of composition is to find out the best way to lead the eye. And the way to lead the eye isn't to just say, oh, you're supposed to read this right to left. You're supposed to draw it the way that the eye naturally is led. So if you're a person who is used to drawing left to right, you're going to draw it that way, and people will naturally read it left to right. So that's the problem. And it's still, you can tell it's not fixed in this, this is not the latest chapter, but it was the one of the more recent ones.
You should always just just always draw left to right.
Yeah, if you unless you are actually Japanese and you can't help it, draw fucking left to right, or at least fucking have some clue. Because here, the way that the way that this gutter angles down like this.
Yeah, he did this because my favorite manga dude.
Yeah, but the thing is, he probably drew it left to right. He's like, okay, this is the second panel, but I'm going to draw it first because it's right here on the left. And so fucking,
I don't know.
Naturally, he is clearly, though, right here, as you can see, the eyeball leads naturally left to right, as it's supposed to be read right to left. So it is the same way that Liam Gray fucked it up. He fucked it up to begin with.
But yeah, it's in general, even then, it's like, it's the panels aren't layered in any fucking really coherent way. But on top of that, it's just that there's a lot of bloat in some of this like page 11
Yeah, just skimming through this shit.
on fucking page 11, just so many panels of here is action, impending action, and then just more of that, and then more and more and more. It just keeps going on, and it's like you could have condensed this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They wanted to show as much fucking Tank wanted to show as much like art and stuff. Like here, I'm looking at chapter 3. I've been looking at chapter 3 the whole time, but yeah, there's it's just art, and she's flipping around, and then she's hitting the thing, and then flipping around, and then oh no, just striking its body. Oh no, and then but she's been doing that the whole time and shit.
And then menacing, and it's like that's not a sound effect. They
Yeah, I
do
don't know
that
why. What's with that in Japanese? They fucking do that because it's
in
meant to
Japanese.
be
It
like
probably makes
that.
more sense if it's like a fucking, it's harder to translate a sound effect exactly.
Or a facial. That's really what's supposed to be is like facial expression, but you're really fucking nailing the facial expression if you don't have to fucking put the menacing. And I have a feeling that was originally done in manga as a joke, and it caught on, and fucking all the Westerner artists who got inspired by manga took it
Yeah,
seriously.
so they have no idea what the culture is actually
Hmm.
trying to do. They're like, this looks really cool. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you're
It looks
gay.
retarded.
You are a
You
gay
look
weeb.
retarded for doing it.
But here's the thing is that still the rest of the action is well drawn and that kind of thing. But yeah, it could have been
The
shorter.
action scene, the individual panels,
It's padded and
they're
bloated.
they're fucking well done. But yeah,
Hmm.
they're bloated. The pages are bloated as fuck. And also, it can't help but look when you go over the multiple pages. It looks like they're basically just torturing a defenseless animal by ganging up on it. That's all that seems to be
Well,
happening in this.
of the chapter 3 is the big giant thing though. That's what's going on here.
Is
And
did we get to chapter 3 at
yeah,
some
I've been
point?
looking at that the whole time. But the yeah, where you were looking at what like a page 11 of the previous one that was like more lion dog sized fucking thing, and they're all jumping around, and yeah, it kind of looks like they're bullying it, and it's got scars and but it's got scary claws and all that shit. But here's
It's
the
got
thing.
scars, but not because it's been injured in the past and healed.
Mhm,
It's just because that's the way you're supposed to
mhm.
draw any creature in
Yes.
animal. It's like, oh, it's covered in, it's got a scar over its eye, and
Hmm.
it's like, no.
Scary monster. But anyways, here's one thing I'll say. Some of the later pages of chapter 3 here though, with near the end and with the action and the last page here, these do read a little more naturally right to left, possibly because Tank actually saw our criticism and took it, and
Because he saw it because he's fucking
but he
upset.
reconsidered his art. More importantly, is that he fucking actually like was he was like, oh, if this does like this earlier stuff very clearly doesn't read in a proper right to left, whereas this one kind of more naturally does, especially with like sound effect on the left and like readable text on the right, where you read the readable text first and you get the sound effect later, sort of as the dressing to the overall effect of the visual. Um, so yeah, still overall, I wouldn't say that these comics are bad. In fact, the thing is that he didn't seem to start over and take any lesson from like how to do it better than he already was. He just did it slightly differently and with some more detail than how he already was. Um, but I'll say it is still slightly better, I guess. So that's okay. But still, there's a lot to be learned from this comic. But we had to cover Tank's comic because it's Tank's comic, and anyone who's been following us long enough understands why. Um, the or is this one 4? Is this one chapter 4? Or is this the button that goes to chapter 4? Oh yeah, this is chapter 4. Okay, yeah. So chapter 4 is the one that came out just a few days ago, actually. But we'll get to that next time or something. So unlike, share, recomment, and should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.